we need to simplify the given expression into its simplest form, right? So to do this, we will just do an observation, and here we can see there are two terms. First is this one, that is root over of a square minus b square plus a divided by root over of a square plus b square plus b, and this term is divided by this second one. Okay, so just after this observation, what we will do, we will simply take the first set. So this is the first set, and this is the divided by, and this is divided by the second set of expression, right? This one, right? So why I am distinguishing it, so that you can easily understand it later on, what is the benefit of distinguishing this, right? First of all, what we will do, as marked in red, I am taking the first expression. Okay, if this is first and this is second, so first is divided by second, right? So considering the first now, if the first is root over of a square minus b square and plus a is outside of the root, mind it, right? Divided by root over of a square plus b square plus b, right? So do one thing, just for the first part, rationalize it just to eliminate the root of the denominator, right? In simplification, this need to be taken care that whenever you are simplifying some expression, then if there is a root, then you need to remove that root, you need to rationalize it, right? If it is not eliminated by direct multiplication, otherwise if it will be root over of a square plus b square only, and b plus b was not there into the denominator, then we can simply multiply it with denominator with root over of a square plus b square, and similarly into the numerator also root over of a square plus b square will be coming, so that it will be, after division you can see it will be cancelled out, but this will be helping to remove the root. So when you rationalize it, right, what we are doing, we are rationalizing. On rationalizing, this expression will be root over of a square minus b square plus a divided by root over of a square plus b square plus b. So multiply it with its conjugate. So what will be the conjugate? Root over of a square plus b square, here plus b, so this sign will be changed, minus b, right, divided by root over of, I am using the different color of pen so that you can easily understood what is added and eliminated. So here this is inserted into the numerator and even divided, right, so that if it, the entire expression will be cancelled out, whatever we have inserted. Now here put the numerator as it is, don't go into the calculations. Okay, root over of a square and b square plus a, keep it as it is, this term, right? And the second one is root over of a square plus b square minus b, right? So this is the second term, this one. Now into the denominator you can see this is root over of some quantity, let's say root over of a square plus b square is x, then x plus y, if b is y, x plus y and x minus y, that will give you the expression into the form of x square minus y square. Yeah, if you remember, a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So similarly this will give you a square plus b square whole square into the denominator minus b square, that is, here b is this one, whatever we have explained into the formula x or a, that is root over of a square plus b square. So this square minus this square, right? So this will give you into the next line, it will be root over of a square minus b square plus a. We are not going to temper the numerator anyway, right? So write it as it is, right? And into the denominator you can see the beauty how this root will be eliminated, because a square of the root will be eliminating this root. So this will be a square plus b square and minus b square. So here you can see b square and b square will be cancelled out, right? So this will give you root over of a square minus b square plus a. We are just repeating the numerator as it is into root over of a square plus b square minus b, right? And this whole divided by what? Only a square is left. So this whole divided by a square, right? Now we are just changing the pen so that you can understood. We are now taking the second part. Now we're changing the color of the pen to green. So the second part, so this one, that means the first part is divided by the second one. The second one is root over of a square plus b square minus b divided by, I am just mentioning this as second part, right? A square plus b square minus b divided by a minus root over of a square minus b square. As we rationalize the above one, we just rationalize this one also. So changing the pen, so write the conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate of the denominator will be a plus root over of a square minus b square, right, divided by a plus root over of a square minus b square, right? So this will give you the numerator will be as it is, as we did for the first one, that is root over of a square plus b square minus b multiplied with a plus root over of a square minus b square, right? And this whole is divided by, similarly you can see something minus another thing multiplied with something plus another thing, that is x minus y into x plus y. This will convert the denominator into x square minus y square, right? So this will give you a square minus root over of a square minus b square whole square. Just follow the denominator, okay? When you follow the denominator, you can see this is set on a formula a minus b into a plus b, though here we cannot say, so that's why I'm saying x minus y into x plus y, that is x square minus y square, right? So this will give you, write the numerator as it is divided by, this will be the product, I'm not repeating it again, right? This is divided by, here writing the denominator a square minus a square plus b square, because this minus will be multiplying with a square and b square, so this will be happening. So here you can see that in the denominator a square and a square will be cancelled out, right? Now here only b square will remain, you can see only b square will remain. So this will give you this numerator divided by b square. So this is the simplified format for the second part, what we did second part. Now our question was that this first part divided by the second one, this was our question. This need to be simplified to the simplest form. So the simplified format of the first part is this one, that is root over of a square, the numerator divided by a square, right? So let me squeeze a little, yeah, it's fine. So here what we have written, that is root over of a square minus, I'm repeating the question over here again, plus a divided by root over of a square plus b square plus b divided by this, divided by root over of a square plus b square minus b divided by a minus root over of a square minus b square. So here you can see the first term is already simplified as this one. So we'll write it as it is. So the first term, the first part, this one, this is the first part, right? It can be written, the simplified format of the first part is this one, that is in the red. I am repeating. So what we have already simplified, write it over here, root over of a square minus b square, right? Root over of a square minus b square. Let me shift a little. Okay, the simplified format of the first part is already captured over here, that is root over of a square minus b square plus a, right, multiplied with root over of here a square plus b square, this is not root, minus b. So I am repeating the simplified format, the last step in red. You can see this is the simplified format of the first part, right? This one. I am just writing it over here. Divided by, in the denominator it was a square. After rationalizing, we had seen b square was cancelled, so a square was remaining, into a squared, right? Divided by a square. And this entire thing is divided by, that means give a big fraction, right? This is divided by the second part. What is the second part? The second part is this one, numerator divided by b square, where numerator was root over of a square plus b square minus b, right? You can see here, into a plus root over of a square minus b square, and this whole by b square. So I am writing the simplified format of the second part, and this was your second part here, this one. This was your second part. You can see this was your second part, right? So the simplified format of this is this numerator divided by b square. So we have written the numerator divided by b square. So now we have almost solved this question. Let us see. Here you can see root over of a square minus b square plus a into root over of a square plus b square minus b. Here you can see root over of a square plus b square minus b. Just watch this one. Watch this one. Is not it same? Sorry. Is not it same? And here root over of a square minus b square plus a, this one. And here this plus a or a plus this is same. So we can say this is into the format numerator 1 by denominator 1 divided by numerator 2 by denominator 2. So in this way, this one a square minus b square plus a will be cancelled with this one, right? And this is also the same, root a square plus b square minus b, root over a square plus b square minus b. This is also cancelled, right? And we are left with 1 by a square divided by 1 by b square. So we are left with, into the numerator, 1 by a square divided by what? 1 by b square, isn't it? Now 1 by a square divided by 1 by b square can be written as 1 by a square into what? When division will be multiplied, division will be converted into multiplication, this b square will be going into the numerator, isn't it? B square by 1. So this will be simplified as, the above expression is simplified as b square divided by a square, right? B square divided by a square. So this is the simplified format of the expression this one. You see, for this the simplified format is this one. If you are getting any confusion over here, let me explain it. If you are having, let me write it over here. Let me write it over here. X by y divided by p by q. So if you have two fractions over here, then sorry, if you are having two fractions over here, x by y divided by p by q, then we can write it this x to be multiplied with the numerator's numerator multiplied with the denominator's denominator, right? So that's why it can be written as x into q divided by, and here the remaining two, the denominator of the fraction which is into the numerator, that is denominator 1 will be multiplied with numerator 2, right? That is y into p. Same thing we did over here, and we get b square by a square as the simplified format of this expression, right? I hope you like the solution, students. If you find it useful, you can just like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Happy learning. Bye bye. For any queries, you can put up into the comment box. I am always there with you. I will try my best to support you. Thank you so much, students. Bye bye. Take care.